First and foremost, to me, LeBron officially passed Larry Bird and got into the top 5 when he won his final championship, his only championship in Cleveland. In my mind, he still has a way to go clearly to pass Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, 11 championships, 13 years, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
The captain.
And my heart just won't let him pass Magic just yet.
There is a strange crack in the immortal wall of the NBA, a fracture that still refuses to close. The question of the greatest of all time. It's not just a debate, it's a storm, swallowing every cafe, every locker room, every basketball forum on this planet. And yet, in the 75-year history of this league, among hundreds of legends, only one man has ever stood up and declared to the world, "I am the GOAT." That man was not Bill Russell, the king of 11 rings in just 13 seasons. It was not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the eternal symbol, whose scoring record lasted nearly 4 decades. It was not Magic Johnson, the magician who turned the NBA into a global stage. It was not Larry Bird, the cold-blooded cowboy of Boston who redefined the culture of winning. No, none of them. The only one who dared to crown himself greatest of all time was LeBron James. June 2016. After leading the Cavaliers back from 3-1 against the 73-9 Golden State Warriors, LeBron dropped a thunderbolt. That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. One sentence, one flash of lightning, and the entire NBA sky split in two, one side worshiping, the other enraged. Yes, LeBron is a phenomenon. A superhuman body fused with speed and power. A machine of destruction stretching a career beyond 20 years, collecting nearly every statistical crown imaginable. But that self-proclamation raised a chilling question. Since when can the throne be taken by one's own hand? Chauncey Billups, Jalen Rose, and a panel of NBA greats smirked bitterly. Top 5? Sure. Mount Rushmore? Maybe. But number 1? No. Not ever. Because that throne, for 3 decades, has been sealed in blood, sweat, and glory under one name. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And here comes the paradox. While LeBron keeps chasing Jordan's eternal shadow, another voice cut through the noise, Chauncey Billups, who battled all 3. Kobe Bryant was the most skilled player I've ever seen. Not LeBron, not Jordan. Kobe. The studio froze. Fans felt the cold splash of reality. And from that moment, a new fire erupted. Was LeBron placed on the wrong scale by the media? Was the true heir to Jordan's aura not LeBron but Kobe? With a skill set sharpened to absolute perfection? This is the chaos of the GOAT war. LeBron, the monument of power and longevity. Kobe, the artisan of skill and obsessive mastery. Jordan, the embodiment of destruction, wielding an aura that forced an entire league to bow. And in this triangle, who truly touches immortality?
Michael Jordan, when you talk about all NBA first team defensively, leading the league in scoring over 30 points per game, finals MVPs, championships, like the categories that you guys hold personal to you, like just another level that MJ's on.
Michael Jordan, the unreachable standard. When Jalen Rose spoke, he didn't hesitate. LeBron passed Larry Bird when he delivered Cleveland its only championship. But he still has a way to go to pass Michael Jordan. That sentence was more than commentary. It was a line carved in granite. And why? Because Jordan was not just a winner. He was the definition of perfection. 6 trips to the finals, 6 victories, 6 finals MVPs, a perfect resume at the highest stage where pressure crushes mortals, a career scoring average over 30 points per game, the highest in NBA history, unmatched by LeBron, Kobe, or anyone else. 10 scoring titles, Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA First Team, and all defensive first team dominance on both ends of the floor. And something invisible, unquantifiable, yet heavier than all the numbers combined. Fear. Chauncey Billups said it clearly. LeBron's greatest achievement, beating the 73-9 Warriors, was historic. But one moment, no matter how brilliant, cannot eclipse the mountain of Jordan's career. Jordan's greatness wasn't built on a single shot or comeback. It was an empire of relentless dominance, never cracked, never surrendered. LeBron's story is one of resilience, falling, rising, enduring. 8 straight finals appearances, yes, but alongside it, 6 finals defeats. For every miracle comeback, there was another heartbreak. Jordan's story? It was a straight executioner's blade. Once he reached the mountaintop, he never gave it back. No 7-game wars in the finals. No collapses. No excuses. That is why, when LeBron crowned himself GOAT, the old guard recoiled. They had seen Jordan transform the game into a global religion. They had witnessed how teams lost before the ball was tipped because Jordan's aura broke them mentally before a single dribble. Greatness, they argued, was not just endurance. It was the complete absence of weakness. LeBron bled. Jordan did not, and that is why the throne feels sealed. Jalen Rose drew the line. Billups underscored it. Every category that matters, scoring, defense, finals, dominance, aura of invincibility, places Jordan not on the same tier, but on an entirely higher plane. Michael Jordan never needed to proclaim himself GOAT. The world, the legends, even his fiercest rivals, already proclaimed it for him.
I think MJ is the greatest of all time, but I think Kobe is more skilled than any player that's ever played that I've seen.
Kobe Bryant, the artist of skill. Then came the voice that shook the table. Chauncey Billups leaned in and declared, "I think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but I think Kobe Bryant is the most skilled player that I've ever seen." Silence. Because in that one statement, Billups sliced through the entire debate. If Jordan was the immovable standard of greatness, and LeBron was the superhuman monument of longevity, then Kobe Bryant was the artist of the game, the embodiment of pure, perfected skill. Every detail of Kobe's game was sharpened like a blade. The footwork dances carved from Jordan's shadow, then refined with hours of obsessive repetition. The fadeaway elegant yet merciless, a shot defenders knew was coming but could never block. The handle tight, patient, deliberate, used to carve space in impossible corners of the floor. The study hours of film consumed at dawn, mapping every rotation, every help defender, every blind spot of his enemy. Kobe wasn't gifted with Jordan's massive hands, nor LeBron's tank-like frame. His advantage came from craftsmanship. He was the NBA's blacksmith, forging his weapon with relentless labor until the weapon became indistinguishable from his identity. Billups had faced them all, LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, and his verdict was chilling. Kobe's skill set surpassed them both. But here lies the paradox. Skill, as devastating as it was, did not make Kobe untouchable. He lost finals. He endured years of failure before Shaq. He fought through torn Achilles, fractured fingers, and locker room wars. Kobe's greatness was earned in blood and scars. If Jordan's aura broke teams before the game, Kobe's aura came after the ball tipped, when he bled you out possession by possession, until you realized you were trapped inside his obsession. And that obsession had a name. Mamba mentality. It was not just about winning, it was about suffocating every weakness, in himself and in others. Kobe forced his teammates to climb with him, or be left behind. He turned practice into battlefields, mornings into crucibles. He was not Jordan's equal, but he was Jordan's echo, the closest thing the league has ever seen to the original. Where LeBron's path was built on physical dominance, Kobe's was built on the mastery of every skill the game demanded. And so the question emerges, if skill is the true measure of a basketball player, was Kobe closer to GOAT than LeBron ever?
He's on the Mount Rushmore, in my opinion, but I can't put him at the top. There's no way I can put him at the top. And at the end of the day, and he talked about this, that win, beating that team, made him the greatest of all time.
Was LeBron James, the monument of longevity. If Jordan was the executioner and Kobe the artisan, then LeBron James is the monolith. A living monument of power, speed, and durability, carved not from hardwood, but from steel and thunder. From the moment he stepped into the league as the chosen one, LeBron was unlike anything basketball had ever seen. A frame of 6'9", 250 pounds, moving with the grace of a guard and the violence of a freight train. The vision of Magic Johnson fused with the physique of Karl Malone. The endurance to play over 20 seasons without a single year lost to decline. And the numbers testify. The NBA's all-time leading scorer, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's once untouchable record. More points, rebounds, and assists combined than any forward in history. A resume stretching across 3 decades, with dominance in his teens, 20s, 30s, and now 40s. But longevity, as astonishing as it is, comes with a shadow. Because while LeBron's story is one of sustained greatness, it is also one of repeated heartbreak. 10 trips to the finals, an achievement few can fathom. But 6 defeats, moments where the aura of inevitability slipped, where the throne looked vulnerable. Jordan never allowed such cracks. Kobe fought through them with scars, but LeBron's failures became the ammunition of his critics. Even Chauncey Billups, while praising LeBron's specimen-like body and unmatched resume, drew the line. Beating the Warriors was his greatest individual achievement, but that doesn't make him the greatest player of all time, because dominance is not just about reaching the mountaintop. It is about owning it, and for all his years, for all his feats, LeBron's mountain feels shared, contested. Yet, let us not diminish him. His legacy is carved in stone, the greatest athlete the NBA has ever seen, the Iron Man whose prime outlasted generations. His body was the arena, his career, the marathon. LeBron James is not the GOAT, but he is the monument, the towering colossus of basketball longevity, standing as proof of what a human body and will can endure. The triangle of greatness: Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. 3 names, 3 legends, 3 pillars holding up the eternal debate. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. At first glance, they seem carved from the same marble dominance, excellence, obsession. But when we look closer, we see 3 different archetypes of greatness, each forged by fire in a different way. LeBron, the titan of longevity. LeBron's greatness is measured in time, 20-plus years of dominance, a career that has stretched across eras, defeating fathers, sons, and perhaps one day, grandsons. His weapon was not invincibility, but survival. He was the storm that never stopped, the marathon that never ended. But longevity, while awe-inspiring, comes at a cost. Too many cracks in the armor, the finals losses, the moments where his aura broke, where his shoulders slumped, where the chosen one looked human. LeBron is a monument, yes, but a monument with visible fractures. Kobe, the artisan of skill. Kobe's greatness is measured in craft. If LeBron was the colossus, Kobe was the sculptor chiseling his game into perfection through relentless obsession. No one in NBA history built a skill set as complete, as precise, as Kobe Bryant. Every movement was a weapon, every shot a dagger honed in blood and sweat. But skill, as dazzling as it was, didn't make Kobe immortal. He lost, he bled, he suffered. His story was one of redemption, scars, and obsession. He was Jordan's echo, his reflection in the mirror, not quite the original, but the closest mankind would ever get. Jordan, the executioner of perfection. And then, there is Michael Jordan. Jordan's greatness is measured in dominance. No fractures, no excuses, no cracks in the glass. 6 finals, 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, Defensive Player of the Year. He was not just great, he was inevitable. But more than the numbers, it was the aura, the invisible shadow that crushed opponents before the ball even tipped. Legends spoke of it: Allen Iverson, Reggie Miller, even Chauncey Billups. They all admitted, Jordan's presence alone bent reality. He didn't just beat you, he made you believe you had no chance. So here lies the triangle: LeBron, longevity, endurance, the body of a titan; Kobe, skill, obsession, the mind of an artist; Jordan, dominance, perfection, the aura of a god. 3 men who defined 3 paths to greatness, but only one combined them all. Only one had the longevity to dominate an era, the skill to conquer every inch of the floor, and the aura to enslave the will of his opponents. That one is Michael Jordan. Not self-proclaimed, not media-constructed, but crowned by time, by fear, and by the unbroken truth of 6 for 6, the truth of aura. Why Jordan is eternal. Numbers can crown you, rings can validate you, but aura? Aura is something no statistic, no trophy, no highlight reel can ever explain. Aura is what separates greatness from godlike, and Michael Jordan carried it like a cloak of fire. Allen Iverson, the fearless warrior who crossed up giants without blinking, admitted it openly. The first time he stood across from Jordan, he didn't feel like he was facing a man, he felt like he was staring at a myth. Iverson said his palms were sweating, his heart racing, because it wasn't just a basketball game. It was standing in the presence of a legend he'd grown up worshiping. Reggie Miller, one of the NBA's coldest assassins, told a story of trash-talking Jordan early in his career. Jordan responded by unleashing such fury on him that Miller swore never to awaken the sleeping god again. Miller said it plain, "You don't poke Black Jesus." That wasn't just respect, it was reverence born from fear. Craig Hodges, who faced Jordan every single day in practice, revealed something chilling. Jordan never lost a conditioning sprint, never broke, never allowed weakness to show. His aura wasn't just in games, it was forged in the hidden grind, in the places no cameras reached. His own teammates, hardened professionals, looked at him and realized this was not a man to test. This was a force. Compare that to LeBron. No rival ever trembled at the sight of his jersey. They respected his power, feared his ability, but they did not feel inevitability. Compare that to Kobe. Yes, defenders dreaded his skill set, but they did not crumble in the locker room hours before tip-off. Jordan alone carried the aura that bent time and space. Opponents lost games before they began. Coaches admitted to changing entire schemes just to survive him. Commentators described the feeling of destiny every time Jordan touched the ball, like fate itself had chosen the outcome. This is what Billups and Jalen were really pointing to when they drew their line. It wasn't only the numbers. It wasn't just the rings. It was the fear, the aura, the truth that Jordan's presence alone was victory, and that is why he is eternal. Legends retire, records fall, longevity fades. Skill is surpassed. But aura never dies. The throne untouched. Decades have passed, generations have come and gone, and still, the question burns. Who is the GOAT? The young will argue for LeBron, the living monument, the man whose career has stretched so long it feels eternal. They will point to his records, his numbers, his impossible longevity, and they are not wrong. Others will whisper Kobe's name, the artist who sculpted his game into something so pure it felt divine. They will remember the Mamba mentality, the impossible shots, the relentless obsession that made him both loved and feared. And they are not wrong either. But when the dust settles, when the echoes of debate fade into silence, one truth remains. There is only one man whose very presence was enough to decide games before they began. Only one man who combined skill, dominance, and aura into a force the world had never seen and will never see again. Only one man who walked onto the court not as a player, but as a verdict. Michael Jordan. He never called himself the GOAT. He never needed to. The game itself crowned him. His rivals feared him. His teammates followed him. And history sealed him. So let the debates rage on. Let the generations fight over statistics and highlights. Let the media build new Mount Rushmores. None of it matters. Because in the heart of the game, in the marrow of basketball itself, the throne is already taken, and it has a name carved into it for eternity: Michael Jeffrey Jordan.